Imagine waking up one morning thinking your bank account is secure, only to discover your wealth evaporated overnight. Sounds like a nightmare, right? Well, this was a reality for millions during the 2008 financial crash. Here's something shocking. While the world's attention was on Wall Street, a seismic shift in wealth distribution quietly occurred, reshaping society in ways most people didn't even notice. Now, let's start peeling back the layers. Financial markets weren't just numbers game during the crash, they were battlegrounds. Sure, stocks plummeted, investments turned to dust, but beneath the surface, wealth didn't just disappear, it gravitated towards the top. Large institutions, already holding the lion's share, emerged more powerful. It's not just about stock prices. Think about the cascading effects on housing and employment. Entire neighborhoods foreclosed, jobs vanished, businesses shuttered. It was as if society's financial soil had been upended overnight. But how did this redistribute wealth? Well, consider this. When assets depreciate and credit tightens, those with existing capital can, and did, buy undervalued properties and stocks. It wasn't just a transfer of wealth, it was a torrent flowing upwards, and it left a profound, long-lasting ripple effect we're still feeling today. Picture yourself witnessing this climbing economic ladder, only it's been greased, making it even harder for most to ascend. Those who had deep pockets saw opportunities everywhere, in discounted real estate, failing businesses that could be flipped for profit, while the average person clung to what seemed like the last rung of their financial stability. Now, let's talk about jobs. The crash didn't just decimate people's savings. It ripped through job markets like a hurricane, leaving destruction in its wake. Industries like construction and manufacturing took enormous hits, but here's where it gets intricate. Positions lost weren't evenly spread. Lower income and less educated workers bore the brunt. Jobs that barely paid enough to survive vanished, forcing many into part-time, underpaid gigs with little security. And what's even more fascinating, or perhaps shocking, is how this job landscape shift impacted future wealth creation. The immediate effect? An entire generation entered the workforce during dismal economic times, stymied from building the kind of wealth their parents could dream of. Home ownership was delayed or deemed impossible for many, compounding the inequality gap further. Let's shift gears slightly. With fewer stable jobs and dwindling assets, access to favorable credit irrigated this wealth desert. Those with stable footing could gamble on economic recovery, investing, and profiting as markets stabilized. The cycle reinforced itself, widening the gap between those with and without means, a ripple effect turning into a tidal wave of inequality we're still riding today. Now, zoom in on how this widening gap redefined the American dream. Home ownership, a classic hallmark of success, suddenly felt like a relic from a bygone era to many. While property values slowly climbed back, those who weathered the storm with cash reserves snapped up homes, often at bargain prices. For families already teetering on the edge, the ladder to financial security felt like it was being pulled away. And let's not forget the psychological impact. The 2008 crash indelibly changed how people viewed financial risk. Fear of losing everything dictated cautious spending and investing behaviors, creating a culture where financial conservatism became the norm rather than an option. This wasn't just a change in mindset, it was a shift that stalled economic mobility for many who couldn't afford to take risks anymore. Switching focus to broader economic policies, consider this. The crash prompted sweeping government interventions like bailouts and stimulus packages aimed at stabilizing the system. While these were life rafts for big banks and corporations, they inadvertently highlighted and even exacerbated existing inequalities. Critics argued these measures helped the financial elite recover while leaving everyday citizens to navigate tumultuous currents with little support. Reflect on the long term. Educational and economic opportunities morphed, with a noticeable tilt favoring those who already had access and resources. What was meant as a return to stability set a new precedent where financial resilience entrenched privilege, perpetuating a cycle we're continually trying to break. As we step further into this economic landscape, it's crucial to consider: how does this reshaping of wealth and opportunity affect future generations? We're witnessing a world where educational debt has exploded, a direct ripple effect from families trying to equip children with better opportunities despite financial constraints. For many, financing higher education became an intimidating mountain, contrasted starkly with the need for degrees to enhance job prospects in an ever-competitive market. Now, let's shift to how this all ties into generational wealth. Family wealth wasn't just depleted. It created a snowball of challenges for years to come. Savings meant for retirement were repurposed for immediate survival or supporting children's education, leaving a financial void that extended into the fabric of family planning and stability. To complicate matters further, the financial literacy divide widened. As wealthier individuals navigated through complex financial tools to safeguard and grow their wealth, those without access to sound advice or education lagged behind. This gap in knowledge continues to widen the chasm of inequality, making it harder for many to climb back to financial stability. Think about the current narrative. Wealth isn't just about money. It's about the access to information, opportunities, and security that have lasting impacts on life choices and quality. As we reflect on the 2008 financial crash's legacy, we see a distinct divide not just in bank accounts, but in the very essence of the American dream. A dream that now requires rebuilding, reimagining, and realigning with an equitable vision for the future. Reflecting on the manifold consequences of the 2008 financial crash, it's clear that its influence extends far beyond initial economic metrics. We've witnessed a shift in wealth distribution, a marked change in career landscapes, and significant challenges in accessing education and financial literacy. These impacts are not just numbers. They've reshaped individual lives and societal structures, creating a ripple of inequality and opportunity, shifts that continue to define today's socioeconomic terrain. So, what's next? It's crucial for us to stay informed and engage in discussions that push for equitable solutions that address these systemic issues. If you found this insight enlightening, consider digging deeper, explore resources, and join conversations aimed at fostering change. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content that informs and empowers. Hit that like button if you found this video valuable and share it to spread awareness about this ongoing saga. Remember, understanding is the first step towards change. Thanks for watching, and let's continue striving for a future where opportunities are accessible to all.